Yes, fam. You are the fam. We are on like 9 channels right now. It's crazy. Three cameras. Like, if I had another camera, I'd take a picture of all the cameras. So today I want to discuss um, some things about what is the challenge that salespeople are facing in real estate going into the second and third and fourth part of 2023, going into this recession, right? What are the challenges that salespeople have, and what can we do to increase our sales ability? And there's a couple of really important things that we should just jump into and talk about right out the gate. You guys, if you're on Instagram, I can't see your questions, but if you ask questions on Instagram, I will respond to them. TikTok, you just don't stop. Ask questions and I can answer them. Same thing, we're on YouTube, we're live, we're on LinkedIn Live, we're on 2 different Facebook groups, and we're on 2 different Facebook pages. So some things I can see, some things I can't. So anyways, with that being said, let's jam. Sales in 2023 is going to be completely different than what most salespeople have experienced. I've been through a recession before. I had a cell phone store during the recession, and I also sold real estate, flipped houses. And when you go through a recession, what happens is that there's a certain category of buyers that have to buy. So I just want to ask you guys this quick question, right? Sharran and Cody were talking, and this is something that I've been saying for a really long time, but I want to ask you guys a question. For those of you that are in business right now in sales, that say you're a person that only sells, right? You're a person that only sells to your sphere, right? If you're a sphere only agent, raise your hand. If you only connect with your sphere, right? Like Rick, I work off of referrals only, and I've been doing great, and we do most of our business off of referrals. If that's you, just put an R for referrals in the chat right now. Just put an R for referrals if you only work off of referrals, right? If you only work off of referrals, put an R in the chat. Here's the thing. If you've noticed your referrals kind of dry up, or if you've noticed that your referrals come up and down, right? There's a reason why. There's a reason why referrals go up and down, right? There's a reason why we don't have consistency in our business, because if we take the amount of people you know, when we put it here, and then we take the amount of people you don't know, and we just put a big circle around that, what's bigger, the people you know or the people you don't know? What's bigger, the people you know or don't know, right? If you guys are watching this on the replay, just throw in the chat, what's bigger, the amount of people you know or the amount of people you don't know? Well, of course, it's the people you don't know, right? Of course, it's the people you don't know. The world is full of billions of people, and you might know 500, 1,000, right? But how many do you really know is maybe 40, 50, 30, right? What's up, Bubby? Right? So the people we don't know is much larger than the people we know. Okay, we know that. So here's the challenge. When you work off of referral only, here's why your business is dried up. And I'm just going to be, I assume if you're on here, I have permission to be honest with you. Okay, here's why your business is dried up. The only people that are moving right now, right? The only people that are moving right now are who? Like, just put in the chat, who are the people moving right now? Like, who are the people moving right now? Throw it in the chat. Who are the people moving right now? Okay. Who are the people moving right now? Now, how many people in your sphere do you know that are actively looking to downsize, right? Could be an older couple with hurt legs, hurt hips, right? It could be somebody who needs to be closer to a child so that they can get some caretakers in-house, right? Like family to help take care of them. It could be somebody that's got a really big house. Like my parents have a really big house, but they're not looking to downsize anytime soon, right? So how many people do you know that are actively looking to downsize? How many people do you know that are actively getting a divorce right now? How many people do you know are actively relocating for work, right? Just put in the chat. How many people in your sphere right now are looking to downsize, are getting a divorce currently, like right now, not thinking about a divorce, but they're actually getting a divorce, or they're relocating for work? Put that in the chat. Put that in the chat. How many people are actively getting divorces, relocating for work, or are going to downsize? Cody asked me that question yesterday, and he goes, Vic, how many people are in your network right now that you know are doing these things? I'm like, bro, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody doing that right now. And he goes, exactly. He's like, and that's the people that have to move in 2023, right? If your prospect has a 3-4% interest rate, why would they want to move unless they had to? Well, if you do the standard LP Mama bullshit freaking script, which is what you were taught at every sales conference in the last 20 years, you were going to miss connecting with your prospect. You were going to miss building rapport with your prospect. You were going to miss the actual real thing that prospects need, which is the motivation. But how do we get there? Well, let's talk about it. How do we get the gap, right? How do we get the gap, right? So when we use a script, right, we don't use scripts for ourselves. We use it for our clients so that they can share with us what they are feeling so that we can actually help them. The script is not for you. I mean, it is for you because if you don't have the information, well, you can't make a sale. But the script is so that you can allow that you can actually connect with the prospect, and the prospect can connect back to you, and you can get the information that the prospect needs. Now, the reason why you don't like using a script, we're going to get to in about 5 or 7 minutes. But the reason why you don't like using a script is because when you read off of a script and you don't know how to transition from one question to another question, it sounds a little bit something like, well, yeah, so, okay, yeah. And tell me, how fast are you thinking about buying? And the prospect goes, swing. Walls go up, red flags go up. And what happens? Prospect is now on guard. Prospect is now not going to use you. And they're going to give you the, hey, call me back. Hey, I know we're not in a rush, or you're going to get the, we're only looking for a good deal. Right now, when a prospect says we're only looking for good deals, and you're like, okay, great, no problem, I'll just start sending you listings. That's exactly what they want. They want you to get them off the phone. When a prospect says, hey, I'm not in a rush, I'm only looking for a good deal, here's what you say. Here's what you say. Hey, yeah. No, yeah, absolutely, no problem. I guess, listen to my tone, you guys. Listen to my tone, right? Listen to the shift. Yeah, I guess I was just a little curious. Do you know exactly what you're looking for? Right? Listen to the tone. Listen to the tone. Right? You guys, listen to the tone. When I'm talking to you, I'm very different than when I'm talking to a prospect. Notice I slow down, right? Notice the emphasis on certain words, right? Sometimes I might sound like I'm confused, like I actually don't know what I'm talking about. But when a prospect says something to you like, we only want a great deal, they're trying to get you off the phone. Right? They want, you guys remember, these are people that came into your open house. These are people that you reached out and said, hey, I'm interested in properties, right? They raised their hand. They have a problem. They need your help. AI can't solve this stuff. Okay. So when a prospect raises their hand, they need you, but we all are scared of being sold to, because that's what most salespeople do, is they sell. They don't actually advocate. So when a prospect says that, right, and that you guys are going to get that a lot right now, especially in this market coming up, you guys are going to get this objection a lot, and you're not going to know how to handle it. And they're going to say, well, we're only looking for a really good deal. And you're going to say, oh yeah, no problem. I guess I was just curious. Do you know exactly what you're looking for? Do you know exactly what a good deal is for you? How do I know when to send you a certain property? Like, how can I help? Can you help me identify what I should send you so that I know what's a really good deal for you guys? You guys notice the tonality, the ums, the oohs, the ahs, right? The stalls. Sometimes I'll repeat myself. I guess I'm just wondering. I guess I'm just curious. How do you know like what's a good, like, how would I know what's a good deal to send you? And then you stop talking and you let them talk. Or here's another one. We're waiting for interest rates to fall, right? Anybody here heard that one? Just give me a hands up, right? Give me an I in the chat if you have heard. We are waiting for interest rates to fall. Vic, we're not ready to buy right now. Oh, really? No, tell me more. I mean, we just met at my open house last week, so I'm just curious. Like, what do you mean? How do you mean by that? And they're going to be like, well, interest rates are really high, and our parents told us not to buy, or the news is telling us not to buy. And you're like, oh, yeah, not a problem. I guess I was just curious. What do interest rates need to come down to in order for you guys to feel more comfortable, I guess, purchasing a home? And they're not going to have an answer, right? I've heard hundreds of calls, and the prospect never has an answer because they're literally just repeating, right? They're literally repeating what the media says or what their friends say. They've never actually thought about it. And so what's going to happen is they're going to be like, well, I don't know. They're just too high right now. And then it's like, oh yeah, no. That makes a little bit of sense. I guess they're too high compared to what? They're too high compared to what? Interest rates are too high compared to what? What are they comparing it to? Right? What are interest rates too high for? Why are they high? What is their base? Well, they're too high compared to 2 years ago. Okay. And how do you mean by that? Well, 2 years ago, prices were, interest rates were 4%. Oh, okay. Yeah. And I'm just curious, why didn't you purchase at that? Well, we didn't have the money. Okay. When you say we didn't have the money, what do you mean? Were you homeless and jobless? No, Vic, we just didn't have enough down payment. Oh, okay, great. Awesome. So you had a job, but you were still saving for the down payment. Yes. So you really weren't a buyer in 2020? No, we weren't. Oh, okay. And what else was going on in 2020? I don't know. Well, they're only looking at the one thing that matters to them, right? They're in a void. They're only looking at the one thing that matters. If you ask them the question around like, hey, I was just curious, in 2020, what else was going on in the market when the rates were low? They're going to say something like, I'm not quite sure. You have to remind them that, yeah, even though rates were lower, there was 40, 50, 60, 70, 100, 200, 300 buyers per property. There was homes getting 20, 30, 40, 60, 80 offers. They were going 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50% over listing price. They forgot that because all they remember is the thing that they want to remember. They blinders on. So you can remind them gently, like, I agree. Interest rates were lower. That's a true statement. That's a fact. However, even though rates were lower, I guess, like prices were actually soaring, right? We were seeing 20, 30% over list price offers. So a lot of people, oh, thank you for the heart on TikTok. Thank you. I appreciate that. More hearts, you guys. I got a big heart. Sometimes they call it a bag of coals. Most people say I got no heart. So if you guys can throw me some hearts, maybe it'll fill mine up. And then my friends, particularly the one sitting to my left, will say that I actually have a heart. That would be so sweet. Remind them, hey guys, a lot of buyers, even with the low interest rates, were pushed out of the market because the prices kept escalating so much they couldn't even buy. Jojo, I see you. I'm 19, thinking about getting in real estate. Any tips or advice? Yeah. Go find a mentor that is willing to let you shadow them. Somebody who sells a lot of real estate, that understands the process, and go get a mentor that will allow you to shadow them. And then make sure you have a runway so that when you get into real estate, you're not commission breath. Like, have some money saved up, right? Have some money saved up, get a mentor, follow my content, right? Especially on YouTube, throwing out a lot of long form stuff, and learn how to communicate and learn how to actually listen. Most real estate agents, the problem with them, and you're 19, so lucky you. Bro, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, but bro, if you can't find any mentors, you're not hard. You're not serious. You're not serious. I mean, there's hundreds of mentors out there. There's tons of people looking for hungry, young, energetic individuals, right? Like, bro, put in more effort, right? If you're serious, you will totally get people out there, right? You will totally get people out there. But if you're only showing up or send one email, dude, somebody ignores you, fuck that. Send 10 more emails. Like, people that want to get my attention, like, they send me 6, 7, 8 Instagrams, emails, phone calls, right? Hey, I'm young, but I'm hungry. I'm willing to work, right? I'm willing to do the things. I'm willing to go pick up the dog shit in your listings, right? We've done that before. I'm willing to clean the kitchen for your listings so your open houses are sparkling. I'm willing to put the signs out so that you can show up to your open house in your fresh suit, look sexy, and still have 30, 40, 50 signs out, right? Do the stuff nobody wants to do, right? Educate yourself on the person. Learn everything about them. Hey, I saw you were on a podcast 2 years ago about XYZ topic. Dude, that was a sick ass podcast. I took down all these notes. Here's my picture of the notes I took. I know my handwriting looks like I'm a doctor, but I'm not that cool. I'm just a young kid trying to make it in this world. Yo, people will respond, but you got to know things about these people. You can't just go and expect people to give you their time, right? These people, remember, these people are making a lot of money, right? If you're going after a high producing agent that's making $500, $800, $1 million, $2 million, right? Their time is worth more than what you can offer them. But if you can help them look like a rock star, they will start to teach you. But you got to put in the effort, right? You got to be willing to work. Got to be willing to get your hands dirty, right? If you're not willing to pick up shit, you ain't coming into my team. I ain't going to mentor nobody that's not willing to do the stuff that I've done before. It's just how it is. So let's go back to some advanced sales tips, right? Let's get some advanced sales tips, and then I'll let you guys go because I got a meeting here in a few minutes anyways. When you guys speak to a prospect, right, you should always have a script. A bad script is better than no script, right? There are better scripts, but a bad script is better than no script. Reading the script sounding scripted is better than no script sounding like you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. You guys, I use a script on every single one of my sales calls. The last 4 days, I've been revamping all of our scripts. It takes a lot of work, right? It takes a lot of work, and we've been revamping them. Why? Because I don't like them. I don't like the results I'm getting. I don't like the flow of them, right? I didn't do a very good job when I built them, because to build a whole sales script takes time and energy, right? Now I'm talking everything. All sales is the same. All sales is the same. So here's the first thing. I don't know the Facebook user. It's a bit challenging pumping up my agency each week. I don't know who you are, unfortunately, because on StreamYard, it doesn't show me, but do me a favor, Facebook user, send me a DM and we can chat. I would love to chat with you. We shouldn't be pumping up our agents, right? If they're not showing up motivated, it's either a problem with your culture or it's a problem with your hiring, right? Or it's a problem that they don't know what to say and how to say it. So now they're discouraged because you're not giving them proper training. I don't know what it is. I don't know who it is actually, because I can't see it just as Facebook user on StreamYard, but I will go back and try to find you. Some advanced sales tips, okay? Advanced sales tips. 1, you have to find out the problem, right? You got to find out the prospect's problem, right? So when we figure out like, oh my gosh, I just got something in my eyeball. When we start working with a new prospect, oh my gosh, that hurts. We got to figure out where they're at, right? So the first thing is we got to figure out where they're at in life, right? So what's the reason they raised their hand? Like, why did they raise their hand? Do not do this. Sales, the biggest sales tip I can give you, when you guys do your follow-up calls, do not ask people how they're doing. Do not ask people how their day is. Unless you have a relationship with these people, it's just a sales tactic, because you're stalling, trying to make it like, let's be friends. they don't care about you. And let's be honest, you only care about them if they transact with you. You're not going to their bar mitzvahs. You're not going to their Christmas dinners. They're not inviting you to any of this stuff. You don't actually care about how they're doing. You were taught to be nice, but being nice is actually very, very, very unprofessional, right? You got to be courteous, but you don't need to be like, oh, hey, how's your day? How's it going? Just get to the point. Nobody gives a shit about that, right? So when you call your people, right? When you call your people, use a script. A bad script is better than no script, okay? And I want you to start practicing using tonality, right? So when we ask the questions, I want you to start to slow down a little bit, right? I want you to record yourself. I want you to practice slowing down. The first thing that we have to figure out is why they raised their hand. So why did the seller raise their hand? What is their current challenge, right? Where are they at right now? What's the challenge that caused them to raise their hand and ask for more information about something? Maybe it's a duplex, maybe it's a condo, maybe it's a house, maybe it's new construction, maybe they showed up to your open house. But why are they actually there? What is their current, right? What is their current situation, right? What is their current situation? Okay, what is their current situation? And then we have to figure out what the problem with their situation is, right? So if it's a buyer, right? So if a buyer calls, or you're calling a buyer back, you're going to go ring, ring. Hey, Chris. Yeah, Chris Smith. Yeah, hey, it's just Vikram. We say just because it makes it sound like you're just a friend. Hey, it's just me, right? Brings that connection piece in. Hey, it's just Vikram with Real Brokers. The reason I'm calling is like you had inquired about the house on 123 I Sell Real Estate Street, and I guess I was just curious. What was it about that listing or that advertisement that caused you to reach out today? And they're going to say something, right? They're going to say, "Oh, well, we're kind of maybe in the market." Yeah, totally. We're kind of maybe in the market for a new home. Oh yeah. And I guess I'm curious. Why are you guys in the market for a new home? And they're going to say something like, oh, well, our current home is small. Now don't stop there. Don't stop there. And you're going to say something like, well, I'm just curious. Like, how do you mean your current house is small? Oh, the kids are getting bigger and we just need more space. And when they say that, ask another question. And when you say the kids are getting bigger, I'm just curious, like, what do you mean they're bigger? Like, tell me about your current property. Oh, we're in a 3-bed townhouse, right? It's 1,800 square feet. I got 3 kids, 2 dogs, and my in-laws are here every couple of months helping out, and my parents, because we have a newborn that's only 8 months old. Oh, okay. And so I'm curious, like, why is that an issue? You notice how we go 2-3 layers deep? Why is that an issue, right? Tell me more about what's the problem, right? For some people, a 3-bed, 2-bath house is like, oh my God, they're rich. Like, we got a 3-bed, 2-bath house. We got only 6 people living there. We are loaded. We're rich. And for other people, having a 3-bed, 2-bath house is like the vacation. Like, yeah, it's kind of cramped. We're on vacation though. It's just for a week. Then we go back to our 10,000 square foot mansions, right? So we don't know that 3-bed, 2-baths is small. We need them to also say it, right? We need them to say, yeah, we're really cramped in here. And what do you mean we're cramped? Hey, can I get a shout out? No, you can't get a shout out for your boy. Is Austin a great city to be a real estate agent in? You guys, I don't know any bad city to be a realtor in. All I know is that there's bad realtors in every city. So if you don't know what you're doing, you'll be part of the 90% that fail in the first couple of years. And it's because you just don't have the skills, right? So that's really what it comes down to. If you have the skills, you're going to crush it. If you don't have the skills, you're going to get crushed. If you don't know how to use tonality, if you don't know how to ask questions, right? Like, you could be the most knowledgeable real estate person in the world, but if you don't know how to ask questions, if you don't know how to get appointments, if you don't know how to cause the prospect to trust you, how does it matter where you sell real estate? But yeah, Austin's great, man. Anybody can be successful at sales. Anybody can be successful in real estate. Cool. I don't know who Ray is, but wow. You guys are funny. People want me to read these comments, and if you read the comments and you look at their names, you just see that these people have no life. It's very sad. So you guys, when you're talking to prospects, I want you to use ums and oohs and ahs. Like, so tell me, I'm just curious, right? You notice the pausing, you notice the tonality, you notice even my eyes and body shift, right? I use my hands. So you told me that you want a 3-bedroom house, right? Or you told me you currently live in a 3-bedroom house, but you need a 6-bedroom house. I guess, what would the other 3 bedrooms do for you? Yeah. Hey, Kanu, 2018. When you are presenting, like right now I'm in presentation mode, right? So right now I'm not going to use oohs, ahs, ums because I know my material, right? If I didn't know the material, I would use ooh, ahs, and ums because I didn't understand it. When you know your material, the challenge of knowing your material when you're in a sales situation is that you come off too good, right? And then you come off sleazy. That's my problem. I memorize the shiz out of my material and I can just bang it out, right? In the middle of the night, pissed drunk, high, tied up, I could spew out my scripts. So when you're in a sales situation, using oohs, ahs, and ums actually makes you sound more natural. And it causes the prospect to be like, oh yeah, they're just having a conversation with us. When you're presenting, right? Like if you're presenting like right now, like I am, you don't want to use the oohs, ahs, and ums because it makes you sound like you don't know what you're talking about. So in presentation mode is very different than in sales mode. So oohs, ahs, and ums are a definite yes. Unfortunately, you've probably been taught by others to not use those because that's how it used to be, but that's actually not how it is today. You're in medicine and I have to present at a large conference. Yeah, bro. So when you're presenting at conferences, you're not going to want to use oohs, ahs, and ums because it's going to make you sound stupid, especially in front of a group of medical doctors. My dad's a doctor. My brother's a doctor. My uncle's a doctor. My 2 cousins are a doctor, right? You don't want to do that. Just keep following me, bro. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, follow me on TikTok, right? Practice, record yourself. You'll be fine. Hire a coach. Hire a speaking coach you want. That would be beneficial for you. You guys remember, pauses, talk slow. We talk way too fast. Slow things down, chill out, relax. You're having conversation with another human being. It can be fun. You can be normal. You don't have to be a weirdo, right? Too many people get into sales modes like, oh, I got to be super professional. Fuck that, right? Let you shine. Read the room. Read the room. Don't. If you're walking into a presentation and it's an older couple that's really reserved, you might not want to be too out there, but read the room and read the situation. Have fun, you guys. Sales is super fun when you become good at it, right? Sales is super fun when you become good at it. How do you become good at it? You get a script. How do you get good at the script? You read it. How do you get better at the script? You practice it. How do you get better at the script? You practice it with somebody who's better than you. If you practice with somebody who's worse than you or the same as you, they're not going to be able to help you as fast. So you'll take a longer time. So anyways, this is the stuff I teach inside the Real Estate Sales Academy. We meet 3 times a week to role play, script practice, and learn, right? It's a very intense time together. Everything's recorded. So if you miss something, but we go deep into your skills. You get to practice, you get to talk, right? And it's not everybody's doing it. So it's not like, oh my God, it's super pressured, right? And you get live feedback, right? How do you get to a level of comedic relief and charisma? Practice. Talk shit everywhere you go. I do that. It's just talk shit, right? Some people are funny. Some people aren't. Doesn't mean you got to have you don't have to be super charismatic to be funny. sometimes people with dry humor are funny. You just got to figure out you, boo. Anyways, you guys, I got a jam. It's 9:01. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, throw me a like on one of the platforms that you're on. If you want some potential help, you guys see neutral words. If you want some potential help, if you're struggling or if you want to go to the next level, you're just not quite sure what's going on, I may or may not be able to help you. I don't know yet until we actually have a conversation. So do me a favor, reach out, say hello. If you like the content, leave a thank you or something out there. And I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
Something happened
What?
because this camera
Mm-hmm.
was frozen and it was a message that said that your battery was low.
Oh no, Instagram.